Okay. Trying to get it to. Once I sit down, it will stop scrolling. But we're live.
Okay. So, great. We'll call the order. We have 8 trustees present. So, that. Any public comment?
Yes, there was one public comment. Let's receive. So the public comment was from David Turner, and I'll just read it, even though it's some difficult here. So it reads, Andrew declined anyone else involved in, the subject line is Blacks Only Library Program. Andrew declined anyone else involved in this blatantly racist program should be fired. It's only racism if it's perpetuated by whites. America is at a dangerous tipping point, and this is not. Does the university have Black only study halls? Does it have white only study halls? Do you see the danger of racism and insanity of this approach? David, USA. So I think David Turner may be confusing, is confusing the University of Albany, SUNY Albany with the library in this statement. And I plan to address that when we're. Thanks.
Thank you. That's to our consent agenda. Have any questions about the consent agenda?
I do. So the minutes are part of that consent. Okay, so under the personnel committee, it doesn't. It talks about job descriptions, but one of the things we also did was. Or the executive.
Okay. So I think what we should do is we have to pull the minute out of the consent agenda and take a separate vote, right? Do we have to take a vote to pull it out of the consent agenda, or can I just do that? Okay. So everyone's okay with it? We'll amend the. We'll pull it out of the consent agenda and vote separately. So, how would you like to get the interviews? It said we reviewed job description. The committee reviewed job descriptions and to receive their review. Add a sentence just at the end of that headline. It says the committee also.
There's 3 things. So, right, see the review and propose the dates as needed. Committee also reviewed its timeline and evaluation. Okay. And then a
So I think the way a recommendation, it's like a recommendation, is made. I think you kind of have to clarify what the recommendation is. Not to say the whole thing, but it feels like a recommendation is made regarding the jobs. And when we put the evaluation in there, it's gonna feel like a recommendation. It's kind of recommendations. Or we say additional recommendations in statement the management confidential agreement recommendation was made regarding that and refers to us. We say it in motion so we can. Okay. Well, okay, yeah. I just, so.
So cool. But it's agenda and now. So now there's something.
Yeah. So I move that the minutes be amended to reflect the report of the personnel committee as Wes shared an overview of the March 15th and March 29th personnel committee meetings. The committee reviewed job descriptions and plans to proceed in their review and post updates as needed. The committee also reviewed the timeline and evaluation period for the executive director. Additionally, the committee made a recommendation regarding the management confidential agreement and referred it to the Policy and Governance Committee.
Thoughts? Is there any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried unanimously. So now we'll go back to the consent agenda, which have just our two check registers. And it's actually really only one check register. So do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda or question?
We move the mic closer to you.
Just looking at it. What's the gambling company was today? We're five, yeah. By your name. Sorry.
We get promoting material from them. They're not putting specific programs, program supplies to deal promoting materials. They print t-shirts feature that might have been even tote bags was t-shirt.
So this is Trustee West. Follow-up questions to that, sorry. So did we ever use local businesses for promotional items?
We do. We are also protecting the field quality for so sometimes we use like actually for that reason.
And we get like 3 different quotes.
If it's over $5,000, if the expenses are over a certain amount, we need to get 3 ones. I actually not certain the thresholds for getting it's I believe We have a policy that has.
Is there at this for work programming, just specifically programming of what the action is? But there's quite a few questions. I don't want to waste the board's time on there's like quite a few questions I have in reference to programming and like how they're chosen.
Well, you can always find out about the library's programs through our program guide that comes out monthly and through the website. But you're wondering how these costs relate to supporting the programs that are.
Yeah, that's a little bit of this and
Sure, happy to answer any questions. I mean, I wouldn't have the information to connect these individual lines to the programs without actually following up with the programs coordinator, but I'd be happy to. No.
Trustee Ellis. Is there a second? Trustee Masinsky. Is there any further discussion? All in favor of approving the consent agenda? All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next, we will move on to our finance report from Adam John.
Oh. The reports this month are March 2023, which is 75% of the way through our fiscal year. Support revenue 77%. This is in line with our fiscal year. Expenditures were 72% of my budget. See, payroll related costs be the main reason for expenditures coming. So I'll turn it over to that. Okay, so our national grid bills, I'm still 16,000 compared to 18,330 and 17,317 in 2022. So in trading production, so and payroll costs similar to the last implement as well, and continue to trend on by the two vacancies, including the HR director, the technology support specialist, which was actually involved in yesterday, and several other. If anyone has any questions, any reports.
It seems pretty stable the last few reports.
Yes, yes, we are going to see a couple of large expenses for the end of the year. But overall, I don't think we're going to be too far over or on budget.
We'll move on to our committee reports. Does anybody have any events that they attended that they want to share with us?
There we go. This one. Or projecting now. Next. Thank you. So a couple of things. As far as events, I attended one of the jazz appreciation events at the Arbor Hill Branch, which is really fun. I love to see people like come out from desks and behind shelves and really enjoy it, including children. So that was exciting. I'm also continuing to make progress on my summer library expedition. I'm up to 20 branches. Last night I visited the North Albany branch, and I just wanted to draw specific attention to two of the staff that I got to chat with while I was there, Amani and Elise, I believe are their names, and they were super dynamic and really delightful, and it was fun to talk to them about how kids and folks are using the North Albany branch, including the teachers at the school themselves come in to sort of like take a moment, and so that was something I really enjoyed so far. Thank you.
It's. The committee was supposed to meet yesterday, we ended up not at quorum level. So we don't, we're. But we didn't have one. We're operating some. Excuse.
Okay, so anyway, it was. So. And. She was here. Just for the years. We talked about the. Expedition leading up to Bridgestone and of course the expedition. The page was doing on and we talked about the celebration that's going to be happening in June. And someone says to determine the location. So one has been determined, and which I think is what it is. But I will email to everybody that it is going to be June 14th. So anyway, I'll get that information. I couldn't email them, but I sent them when I gave it to my notes. Should so you they to attend. In terms of the committee reports, you will see the analysis of structure and other answers like the best going to be received all applicants. The state is going to reimburse the agency 50% of the cost of the project. So we're excited about the possibility of that coming through. Okay, new business. The chair of the staffers. And then we gave the lunch from the trustees. I shared a little bit about what was happening with us in terms of the charge that the scholarship program that was designed to encourage the development of librarians of color was considered discriminatory against white and Asian students. One of the libraries talked about a 90-year-old participant running a library spelling bee and how the children were all excited about that. They're looking at beginning a new activity for the spelling bee that's going to embrace everybody. So I think so after intergenerational thing. That's absolutely cool. But anyway, and then there was an article that was shared about book banning. One of the libraries was operating a drag queen story out, which caused some controversy and some conversation about what kind of training was going to be needed to make it easy for people to feel comfortable with a program like that. And Chen said that is something that they could portray. But pretty much that was it. This said they assisted training to make people comfortable and feeling safe with that. And that was pretty much it for the day. See if they did. John.
Does anybody? Sorry, next month, then tell us about.
I have the doodle poll up, I think it's, Monday the 15th. And, but we should, the 15th, Monday, the 6 o'clock. We have on the agenda. Budget creation. Yes, and also, a few months ago, we had suggested about the porta potties thing. I think that we need to revisit that because I didn't think that, but I was here in the library last month and the desk, they had to that situation with the two bad. You know, that's part of their day is to facilitate folks in the bathroom. But there's one woman, she was performing, and so one of the staff, I think, I can't think of his name, but he really diffused the situation. Because it could have word, but Susan and I can't think of her son, his name, but they were very dynamic and how they handled it. And we were talking, and then we started looking at getting very excited. And importantly, the stuff that I think that the city also can benefit.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so, with just rejogging. The porta potties that came up originally around the St. Patrick's Days.
Actually, we're confusing. There are, that did come up, they have things. The Portland loop is a different, is a fixture on the street. Basically a stainless steel that's affixed to the street.
The goal that we're looking at is the creation of a permanent external public use restroom.
Well, it's an interesting subject to think about in terms of how the city can better support everyone's needs. Because right now, the library is kind of seems the only game in town. So as part of the conversation about all of the traffic that we see here at Washington, Ave, in particular, when it comes to the adult restrooms, the idea of Portland came up as something to explore in partnership with the city.
We would be benefit as a part.
The goal is that there these partners, city business districts will help shoulder some costs for this is not all in one on APL or ADE is the right here. Then like mental health, just exploratory at the time. And so and I said, came to the back, came to the live, and that was where the focal point was with these two bathrooms. On the first floor. And so the librarians, part of their day is dealing with this issue. Trying to find a solution, with deadline or go outside or something. Thank you.
Any to sway them and some maybe a couple of days. It was like it was everyone because it's very Monday, May 15th. Or I don't know if.
So let's talk about possibility of May second.
Yeah.
Um,
So I think that the committee May 15th.
Or
So April was a mix for. We had a real troubling incident as which I'll go into more detail about them in the separate information items. So more tomorrow, but it did kind of overshadow the day that took place on April 20th. Though April 20th was also in many ways big success as far as the day goes. The focus of the day was safety. We brought in the Albany County Department of Mental Health Division, Katie Flanagan, and she spoke to de-escalation techniques as well as local resources. We also had the police department come and give sort of a general overview of self-defense for civilians, which was kind of received with mixed reviews from staff. Some of those felt that it was important for them to know because they have to parking lots out there, working in the library, working their shift, and others felt that it was a little bit of a mixed message. Like libraries, you need to know. We also tell them, of course, we're never put hands on favorites. So it was a good day in terms of the focus being consistently on safety. We also had a kickoff for staff. So the logo was a bit, we had a centennial tribute. There was some levity within the day. But yeah, we did a survey right after, and that was a lot of what we could do through that day. We also saw a bunch of our APL sponsored digital navigator intern who started providing one-on-one digital assistance to patients here at Washington now. I've heard good reviews and met her. She's lovely and very patient. We also hosted the home bar fair April 29th. It was a huge success with over 300 people in attendance. Always a wonderful event for us. Really, but I know it's a big deal in the library. It's some really unique programs. I was particularly interested in highlighting the spinning program of Barry Hosted, which was kind of like complete with cheering and running the rule to putting it on spindles and people taking it. We also have a noteworthy staff transition coming up. Our librarian, who's big known entity down at who is the person behind Gruff or Blue Buffett that you see on social media from time to time. He's transitioning from the Hall Branch to here at Washington. And after in office right now, so we're happy to welcome John here. He'll be missed and how it's creating quite a following at and he also conducted a really popular anthropology program. That's great feedback. Trustees that we shared. Just now some social media comments that made. I also got to do a school visit, Albany Middle School, North Albany Middle School, excuse me, and I did that in partnership with the Red Bookshelf. It was a walkthrough about being a library director and 7th graders. I kept them engaged most of the time. It's a really really fun visit, and I'm looking forward to more class visits. But the Red Bookshelf today at Giffen Elementary, fourth graders, so class. Always a lot of interesting questions in the library from also a good opportunity for me to see how much awareness lack of awareness there is a library in the community. So it's always a good opportunity to promote it. And I'm going to read which is already on your calendars, but on May 21st at the Calbranch, our big centennial kickoff, big block party involving a DJ, and loving Mayor Sheehan playing APL today for May 21st going forward. And how we're supposed to be recognized as a business or officially recognized as a business. So in terms of other outreach activities, part of myself, I did a ton of related community reporting to various associations, and I listed those in the administration section of this report. So you'll see I covered and downtown, the DNA, and a lot of the same report given over and over again. The questions that came up were actually questions that weren't as related to other library stuff. So that was interesting for me to see, and I'd be curious to know how things go next week. I'll apparently be finding myself at Albany High School watching the returns with a bunch of school board folks and whoever else wants to attend that night. Apparently it is open to the public, so you're welcome to join me at 9:30 p.m. next Tuesday. But I won't be surprised if you don't see you. It's pretty late to be out watching returns. But I'll sure be curious to know how things play. That's an opportunity to visit Utica and meet the former APLer, Chris Davis, who is the director in Utica. And we actually have quite a bit in common in terms of usership, in terms of the mental health challenges and people experiencing homelessness. He sees a similar uptick in Utica, so it was a valuable opportunity to compare notes and how we might communicate with each other going forward. And actually, it also empowered me to bring together regionally some other directors who are facing similar issues in their libraries and talk about factors that attribute to the issues that we see in the library and solutions. Because we can't do good to talk to each other. It's good to talk about how we can advocate for better social services in the city, county, and regionally. So looking forward to those conversations. And there was also a really lovely National Library Week soiree that the foundation hosted. Jack McEnany spoke here, but he spoke about the history of APL. Nice event. And they got a good the rest of the report details all of the program highlights from class interactions and asking questions you might have. I'll see you in the report. Thank you. The suitors.
Receive the games.
Oh, I don't know. But I'm not going to find out.
Briefly, yeah, with APL was at the door here campaign.
Oh, yes, of course. So and Stephanie Simon and Lex and Trey. And we discussed, the APL's door hanger campaign. They are going to be advertising the Major League First Centennial kickoff on one side and the boat on the other side. They're not going to be using the store as an opportunity to encourage people to vote yes, as they can do that if they wish. They find it better to keep the store hanger simply about the centennial kickoff and about the fact that it was happening. And they're doing a separate piece, a separate mailing, postcard mailing about voting yes in library budget. So that's going to play out. And the door hangers are going on course right around the branch. The library has nothing to do with the yes campaign. The Friends of the Foundation are doing the door hangers and they're picking this.
So that brings us to new business. First item of new business is the quarterly board evaluation. Oh, sorry, my board. You want to say go?
So down or 63 items that I did attach a memo about the incident handles, which I want to cover because it was a significant incident for the library and it also led to a couple of decisions to bring about first covering safety in the library and I also wanted to share with you how I involved the community in safety in the library. So we did get a follow-up question from residents and actually after one of the neighborhood association meetings. So I'll just kind of go from the top. So on April 15th, which was a Saturday, a 17-year-old boy was attacked in his branch lobby by a young man with a knife. The attack lasted about 15 seconds, and the 17-year-old sustained 2 knife wounds. The attacker fled the scene. The team was taken to the hospital. Images from the security cameras in the lobby, the library security cameras, helped law enforcement confirm the identity of the perpetrator because the perpetrator actually jumped in the Uber cab, and the Uber cab driver reported to police because he had some blood on him. He was very agitated, I guess. So anyway, the alleged attacker was apprehended. Hours of the incident. Neither of the team or the attacker were recognized by our staff, but it's the 2 young men knew each other. And it was like that the 17-year-old former recovery. So I went to the day after police and young different all that there police the staff did a job just handling the situation. They didn't just do the all around immediately and find him. So of course we helped the police with the hearing footage. So on staff development day, which took place a few days later, Thursday, several staff members used that opportunity to express their concern and frustration and about this event. Obviously, there's the experience of the staff who were actually seeing it happen, excuse it that way. There's also the experience of the staff who worked there, who heard about it after the fact, and who heard about it, maybe bits and pieces. And so we had a lot of work to do, and it was a really good lesson for me in handling the aftermath of the incident because on staff development day, we realized that we really should have allotted a little bit more time for staff to assess the incident and definitely the context of the safety data. So as it happens, it's an opportunity for staff to vent their feelings, anxiety around stuff that's coming up, rather than just following around this committee. But yeah, in my follow up to the resident incident, I listed a few actions that we taken. So we already know, you already have the internal safety committee that we have. We also accelerated the installation of security camera upgrades at the tower range, and we're moving forward with get the check that we're waiting for. So that accelerated upgrade in tower is made possible in part because you have selected for the utility lines for this year. So I basically reassigned from that mark to this, and I think it's it was certainly an appreciated effort. It's place how place here in Washington. We're also working with county and city partners, continuing to work with county and city core, looking at directors with county and city partners. And of course, I told Golden Day, and we also added community engagement for locations needed, including this. So Pine Hills have been asking for a full-time community engagement clerk for and because of budget constraints, we couldn't make that happen. As it happens right now, we're looking at a major retirement. Three branches. And instead of replacing her position, I basically reassigned this CEC hours to Pine Hills. And I also created a part-time community engagement position for here in Washington, which we needed. So that doesn't necessarily speak for all of that salary, but those were two easy decisions. Not just easy, but really since the project, we just see huge increase in challenges and patrons. So as we've learned, the best thing to do in terms of de-escalating and heading off is if you're aware of the years of life, you have people in this space, then you have people be aware of this around the Pine Hills. We have 2-story library and it's a lot of ground. So having CEC who can move around the building and familiarize yourself with the patrons, do all the great things that CEC is or library is a good thing for that location and for this occasion. Efforts and address safety. That was kind of that encapsulated the incident, response to the incident, state visiting and what our stance is. I just have here. We have 2 full-timers and now a part-timer in addition to this full 2 people.
And Pine Hills,
Now we have
that
one.
you added.
Yes, that's where we added 1 full-timer. We didn't have any CEC there before.
Something that you may consider, I know the city just added the neighborhood spectrum. And there several and typically around different neighborhoods. Down south and on station. So that's something that you may consider your resource as well, but resources regarding the community.
Absolutely, and we've actually been working with them quite closely. This came from the department to kind of make it known that this is evolving, and we continue to work with them. I think as they become familiar with their territories, each of them has multiple territories within the city, but we're going to be small partners for each other. There's a house. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for that, Dave.
Thanks. Yeah, we'll continue to support staff training and with opportunities to, we're actually following on there are 2 living sessions per step. So the safety committee, which includes Melanie, another team and 3 committee members, we're going to be going and I was trying to be quarterly sessions going forward so that and more local people can always have an opportunity to with meeting this, you know, concern addressing them. So that'll be a good thing moving forward for increased sense of work.
Okay, yes.
Microphone.
Is Albany Public Library in an EAP program?
Yes, yes, we have an app in EAP.
So that's really good. People are understanding.
Absolutely, yeah. We have to have EAP as that she's actually preventing people from having days. We do hard times and take advantage of EAP programs. They have a huge rate. It's not just and it's often, you know, there's health, but it's also legal. All kinds of sort of it's a really good thing to connect. Look at this is program. And we use capital.
So there are any other questions, and now we're ready to do business. Further to do business is the quarterly board evaluation. We going to discuss that at an executive meeting last night, and we didn't get a chance, as I mentioned. Yeah, on that. So, to our 3 CDTA agreements, which are annual agreements that we approved in the past. Some of them have some changes this year, so I'll let Andrea walk us through that.
So the first one up is the amended license agreement for essentially the portion of the Washington Review basement that CDTA uses for storage and for their So since the inception of this arrangement, which I think dates back to several years back. Okay, so 5 years ago. 5 or 6 years ago, they occupied 3,976 square feet in the basement of the building for bicycle and speaker storage, and now they're occupying 5,006 square feet in the basement, which we're happy to support them in more space. Need that space for library business. So operation, I should say. And so some of this is just kind of recognizing that the space, their space needs expanded, and commensurate with that, just the rent for the space. So it was a simple sort of dividing the total rent with the space that they had previously raised, multiplying the new square footage. So now the rent is to be 24,000 per year, and there may also be an additional fee that we ask them for to support the e-bikes. So they're adding a fleet of bikes, which is super cool. I'm not sure exactly when they're going to be rolling out. In order to support the e-bike charging, they're doing electrical upgrade to the basement. So that's going to result in additional load when our bill, and we don't know exactly yet, so we're just kind of we're gonna work out an agreement, maybe within this one, maybe, yes, within this one. So, that we're still working on that part, but it will appear similar to this disagreement eventually. I think those are the substantial, yeah, those are the substantial changes. And this is, I believe,
Say, with the board's agreement. If the board will, we should get conceptual agreements and we have subject to final. So we can have. It's going to be something in the order. It's use based on service installed.
Does it depend? It would depend on, like how much. Because it would be, don't they be charge me and stuff like that.
I don't know how, like, when they put the separate charge, I don't think the CTA details are for that, but I can certainly, that. So,
Like, would it be a standard amount or would it be percentage dependent? Would it vary depending upon usage?
it may vary depending on the situation. Sure, and that's part of why I just kind of build in some flexibility with regard to the, that's what we would expect in terms. Absolutely, yeah, we don't like big person and overcoming and things like that. So I think we'll start with something that we think will be simple and but just necessary. Yeah.
And we don't know when this.
I know that the people operating the house, guessing the mics are either on. Yeah.
No, yeah, that's. Yeah, so that's why I'm curious. Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, so
It's
it's,
still. City.
but. Yeah, I guess in the end, it's incorrect for me to say that we didn't like the previous systems, as well. So. We'll see what the impact is, definitely work with them to make it. The digital navigator sales, that's actually, that is two items that were missed, so we're going to be. Oh, yeah.
So, were you suggesting we approve this as an example?
Yeah, not just probably motion to approve the amended local license agreement as proposed. To cancel negotiation with the because
It's the main.
what you looking to
Steve, you're busy. It's recorded. Subject to council's approval.
Is there any more discussion on this motion? So to be clear, we're approving the document and the authorization and
exception documents. Suitable. And to get the land out with the servers. This is a
as we continue to clean out Washington because they'll take over even more space. We'll see. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Well, we didn't vote yet. Any final comments before I call for a vote?
Get the verbiage again. Oh,
It's recorded.
okay.
Yeah.
I'll
so-
go back.
yeah.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
It's 2 down, it's actually, it's right up now. So the navigator sets is occurring CDTA such that all of our branches sell the bus and for CDTA navigator bus. Our rate in terms of the sales commission is 4.5%. They continue to be 4.5%, which is certain. Other navigator sales locations. We did discover during the process of kind of reviewing the relationship with CDTA as far as the navigator classes go, that that the arrangement that was done actually bumped the commission from 2% at the time, 4%, but that change was never actually made on the CDTA side, so we're reconciling that. They completely they understand that that was something that was missed. Both of them. So we're making that right in addition to through this thing.
So earlier you talked about Gator insurance. That is different than this navigator system, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. The digital navigator helps people with computer stuff, and the navigator passes get people on.
So for every, it was very hard, so we get 4.5%. From
That is correct.
in our own service that able to sell them.
They are available for sale in all of our service, excuse me, the circulation desks and in locations where we have basically one desk. That's the spot. Generally. Yes. Yes. Cash. No.
Google. I was really more thinking of cash than hold a lot of.
Yeah, we definitely do cash. Process fees, they make us.
I was just thinking of the navigator. It came after the and the school.
Yes, the only CDTA for this day that is available. So this into this. Oh, maybe.
What do you mean?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's the. I'm getting. I was thinking of the staff universal access agreement, which is actually the next. Forgive me.
So your navigator, you can use the there. And you get a big right? Is that what you project without you?
I regret to say I haven't used Skype yet, and I didn't actually, if anyone here. uses Skype,
I haven't used, like, have an navigator. It's them together.
I thought it was really bad.
Is it actually?
Slide. And it doesn't have, it's two separate. The navigator is for the bus, which includes the Star Bus and the bus related products, but the bikes. and the scooter are separate.
That's what your car is to be. Right out there, you use that app and then the car's numbers, you can put that number into the app. That's what I was thinking, that you got to be able to do that. You know, they load on, just in case if they don't have anything available, but they have their navigator program. That's what I was thinking.
I did.
I knew that.
Yes.
Yeah. The bike after it stops.
And now, according to the ETA's website, the navigator app is only for the buses as well. The navigator, there's two separate.
Yes. So is here. Here. So you will be seeing this kind of and then writing. If it's really excited.
Some of this we can take to approve navigators.
Be less.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? I just want to say thank you for paying attention to these and catching the commission that we did not in this meeting. That's really important. Again,
No, it's for the program. I was talking about the sales portion. The sales. Oh, for commission.
Yeah, I can see, we do about 20 to 25,000 total sales a month. These days, that comes out to about 11 to 13, 14,000 a year. So, about 1,000 a month.
Or is it just that?
It's pretty steady lately. I mean, it took a while to get that. We're kind of where we were in 2018. It's pretty steady. Really.
24,000 is the payment that we should get from CTA sometime soon for admissions that they would have mistakenly paying us because they're this. All in favor of approving the navigator?
Wait, license.
No, we're talking about the navigator set.
Oh.
I all vote. Motion carried unanimous.
This is the universal license program for staff. The term is 2023 to 2025. 2-year term, and the universal access is detailed in the agreement. Points. Yeah. We're looking at the third one. Correct.
It's. I thought it was the bus.
The bus is part of it.
Cycle access, okay, thank you. But the contract term.
It says contract term will be January.
Yeah. Thank you. Great catch. Change that. Yeah, yes. May 1, April 30.
Just to, yeah, this includes the cycle, but it covers all CDK.
Yeah. And this is for library business, commutes or do not managed for like
It's working like
well,
like
I made from staff basically get the option to sign into the program and speak this but staff get the option to remain hired. As far as the pay structure, I believe it's basically like we pay as we go.
In section, standard fares, we still pay standard fares, for the card, if navigator. Purchase. They just get this. And played in down, and we also need it for to get to the harbor, get between the cycle program I think is added this kind of thing. So I think we could it's a little harder to use and it is a little bit of too. I believe when you thought it might, but we really didn't have the response that we had. Didn't have this respect to you. And that is not only on the yet. Or I go to the site where you can not reuse. This kind of great. It's still 4 minutes. Yeah.
And those days dedicated for.
So
We for the bus, they get them. And they're only supposed to use it basically to and from work, and on certain it's going to be great. And from the agreement was like they provided that the APLs provide a report, monthly report that will say, okay, this is this particular. Within it doesn't break it down a day or week.
Well, it does, right. So we see each business. It's like the application.
And then in the
How do we get
what do we do about it? And there's no cost to the employee.
Or we get as an individual. So when we discover, and we an employee is using the car, we get that employee, we get that. Yeah, please don't do this again, if we find out there's.
So, oh, you do that thing yet. It's not right now, when they go, they start to get it. When they get back on, because they do that. That are still. I figure if you came down to that line, something.
They only tend to be building. It's. There's. And. We have, I don't have things. So a lot of it happens in the state format, they're not necessarily using it. We have things. There's another place to utilize it. Big that the day because we have such limited information here. They have to utilize the years.
So that means they can only pay off in, they can pay for one thing. How you.
You often get the card and then so they decided they card that upstairs. Some choose whatever higher. There's changes they need to add transportation basis into the card. If that changes, sometimes people say don't be my card because it's since it's only and not just having the card, we need to do the card.
You know, the way they have to outfit it, you either use the cycle or reuse the box.
When you have to navigate the card, which allows a lot of access, they're given, if they belong to the second program, they have. They get to discount it.
What was they either opted or they don't together.
They either have a card or they.
But how does that, how does that, they, the revenue from spending, compared to people buying for using.
I don't. I expected. So.
Thank you. But there's no relation. I'm sorry, I just want to understand your question. So there's no United sales. I agree. Just both from CDT and the revenue of the on behalf of the library outweighing the revenue from CDT. Do it on.
Because we do, it is in the agreement that we cap it at 10,000. And we
I just want to say this is fantastic for the environment, for people's health. Using a community partner. Oh, so Katrin, but we really got
To jump in as. We have had that the revenue from the is about 1,000 a month. So that's 12,000 a year, and so we're at least 2,000 a year plus. Yep.
Yeah. Just the, any further discussion? All in favor, we disagree. Carry unanimously.
We're already following up with Jonathan Scher's tour. Okay, please to hear minutes. Thank you.
At the end of any business, is there a need for executive session? And could you tell us the purpose?
Session to your points.
Should we do public comment now and end the live stream? So maybe call president. And then while the live stream is still going, just take a motion. Enter the session for purposes. Is there any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carried unanimous.